Trainz. You've heard about it, right? The game about trains, with a big community, and Thomas the Tank Engine episode remake. And today I'll talk about trains, and I guess like review it or something. So sit back and enjoy me with my dookie editing skills.
You stupid
Talk about trains. Trainz was, and still is, one of my most favorite train games. It all started from the Train Driver Journeys, number 1. It included 9 scenarios, who were all tutorials that teach you the basics of trains on mobile. I, surprisingly, have a lot of Trainz games made by Oren or Entropy Games. I have the games on PC and mobile, and I even have an older iPad that barely works, but it has the first train simulator and Trainz driver games ever released on mobile. Maybe one day I'll try to get it to work and record some clips for it. Now, Entropy Games made a lot of games that they published for Steam, and I guess for PC. On Steam we have TRS2022 and 2019, Train Town, which is like some kind of kids game, Trainz Travel, which is a puzzle game, Trainz Simulator 12, or 2012, and the small 2009 standalone Trainz 2009 games, Trainz Classic K-Bon City and Settle and Kyle. Please tell me how you say that. And Trainz A New Era. And also, cause this video is just me reviewing and talking about the Trainz game on now the latest Trainz game, which is TRS2022. So let's begin with the reviews. Now, there's a lot that can be covered for this game, but I'll focus on the simpler stuff now. So let's start off with the first thing, that is Surveyor. Surveyor is where people make their own routes for trains, and if they want, they can upload it to the download station, which is Entropy Games' workshop. There are lots of routes, locos, and rolling stock people can download for free. I'll get to that later. Surveyor also has lots of tools people can use, like for terrain or placing objects, tracks, trains, and much more. The next thing we'll talk about is the trains. There are a lot of locos and trains in TRS 2022. There are 27 locos built into the game, and that's without those 5 built-in routes you get when you buy the original game. And there's way more rolling stock too, so you have lots of possibilities to make the train and consist you want. There are also pre-built consists you can place on the track, 7 of them to be exact. And you know what's also cool? I just found out a couple days ago on the TRS 2022's content manager, there are certain assets that are made by Oren, and that includes those older locos and rolling stock that you can find somewhere like in Trainz number 2. I'll mention a few more stuff later. Also, the locos in the TRS 2022 are very detailed and realistic, with cabs that you can actually interact with when in the actual train. But this only works when you're driving in realistic mode, which is more complicated than DC mode. I'll explain that when we get to the next thing, which is the gameplay. The first thing about the gameplay, easy mode. Like the name says, it's an easy way that the player can control the train, where on the bottom right of the screen, there's a small wheel, where the player can rotate it to move the train forwards or backwards, and above it are smaller icons who do a lot of stuff, like uncoupling wagons, and turning on and off the lights, or the pantograph, and much more. Like I said, it's pretty easy. This even ignores the weight of the train if you're going up steep hills, and also wheel slips, and many other stuff. Realistic mode, like the name says, it's realistic. This time, there are a lot more stuff. Instead of a wheel, you get sliders, and they all have specific stuff that they do, like the reverser, throttle, train brake, loco brake, and dynamic brake. And now, the weight of the train will be affected by on steep hills, and you'll also have wheel slips, and many other stuff. But it's pretty easy to switch between those modes. All the way in the bottom right corner of the screen, there are buttons. and you can pick what driving mode you want. And like I said before, in realistic mode, you have an interactive cab, like driving in an actual train. With the train driving over with, we now have the scenarios. I'll focus on the built-in TRS2022 route, Kickstarter County 2. We have 4 scenarios. One is the multiplayer scenario, one is like some passenger transport thing, and the last 2 is we have a list of freight loads you gotta deliver at specific locations. And that's all I can say about this game. This game is amazing if you ask me. This video did take me a couple days to make, so I hope this video gets good views. And maybe, if the video gets popular enough, I'll consider making more videos like this. I currently have Trainz 2 and Trainz Simulator 2 in my mind, so I want to make those videos if this one gets popular enough. So I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace!